This video has a lot going on. We played live last night. We talked about what the Ripple v. SEC appeal means, which is something that has a lot of people scared and confused. We are going to talk about it. Now that we have your attention, let's begin. Keep your cool as we start our look at Bitcoin, which is now worth $61,900, up 5%. XRP is down more than 11%? That's true. And that the value of all cryptocurrencies on the market is now $2 trillion, or $1,301 billion. We will talk about the case, the appeal, what it means and doesn't mean, and why XRP holders shouldn't worry in a moment. Both. USDT and USDC are getting close to their dollar pegs right now. A lot of people are buying them and showed up without a trade card. I found out that XRP costs more now than it did at first. June, did you file the appeal? What are we? Being scared about the things that make us uncomfortable. You and I care less about other people than we do about ourselves. We are sitting here with more sadness, which isn't much. XRP has lost more than 20% of its value in the last 90 days, mostly during the dog days of summer. This happened in June. Burger, let me tell you about Ripple vs. the SEC. The CC lost by a vote of 4-0, and Ripple agreed to pay back the fine. If the SEC decides to go ahead with the appeal, I think the number will be around $125 million, but I can't be sure. This request could be turned down, though. One could argue that the appeal is still being processed even though Ripple is still 4-0 and has nothing to do with the case. The main reason XRP isn't appealing is that it's not technically a security, which means that the most important factor is missing. There is no doubt in our minds that XRP is not a security. The SEC is appealing the fine because they want more money, according to a report from Bloomberg right now. As a result, this case will last until at least 2025 if it goes on as planned. In the meantime, Ripple is still 4-0 for the year, as I said in yesterday's live show. You go to court. The court says you stole something and sends you to jail, but you lose the case. Either you start a new case or file an appeal because you don't think there was enough proof or the decision was wrong. Either way, you're still not sure what to do. You are still in jail. You might think that when the bank robber appeals his conviction and gets a second shot, nothing changes, but until the case is heard, the decision is final. The outcome will decide his fate. Either he is found guilty or not, or he may get a lighter sentence. The appeal is still being heard, and if it goes all the way to the Supreme Court, which is possible given how unlikely it is that the SEC will win, it could last until 2028, just in time for another bull run. There will be another Bitcoin show. For that reason, I keep saying that this event is very important. In the meantime, some good news about the Bitwise filing of the ETF has come out. Then Canary filed for another ETF, making 2 XRP ETFs. The current legal dispute has no effect on either of these ETFs. Why does that happen? It's simple. A thing that isn't an can still be an ETF. Did you see Canary get there? Did you see that Bitwise took the ETF back? They didn't take down their ETF and they won't do it either. This is the choice. This is the paper. The DC government put in a notice of appeal against Judge Torres' ruling. But what's interesting is that, as Elena Turt said, we have no idea who or what the SEC is or what they're arguing. It's not yet appealing. Bloomberg says that they are making a plea and asking for more money. It could be a cash grab. Today we'll find out more, but it's possible that they want to try to get Ripple to pay them more money. Yes, we are, but it doesn't matter right now, and it won't matter for the next 2 years either as the case or the appeal moves forward. It doesn't change the price of XRP. But it doesn't change XRP or boron. The initial lawsuit being thrown out had an effect on XRP's position, but it doesn't have an effect on it now. We had to wait for the report to find out if it was safe or not. The choice has been made and cannot be questioned at this time. We'll talk about Jeremy Hogan's words instead in the second video, since he pretty much speaks for everyone. According to Jeremy Hogan, everyone should do extreme things. This is Stuart Alderer. He says that the SEC's choice to file an appeal is disappointing but not a surprise. The SEC's choice to file an appeal is not a surprise, as we have seen. As things stand, this is what happened when Clayton and he chose to drop the case in 2020. They all left the building, along with the man who dropped the suit. There will be elections in November. They are expected to happen in the next 6 to 7 weeks. Do you think the SEC will keep Gary Gensler and his staff on the job even if a new government comes in? Are you thinking about the chance that Gensler and his team will quit or leave and that a new administration will say enough is enough? Are we done? Since the SEC wants to start off on a good note now that the case is over, a new supervisor should just tell them that the case is over. That would be good for them. We were able to get away without any problems. Because XRP isn't a security, we're fine with it. If Gensler and the SEC had been fair, they would have done something. Because of this case from a long time ago, the SEC's honor and reputation have been hurt instead of helping investors. They still haven't learned the lesson they lost from Brad about everything that means to you. They have failed on all important fronts, and the fact that XRP is considered a security is the biggest problem for Ripple's future in the US. It says that the law system and the cryptocurrency market have already done well as a safety measure. Let's be patient while we keep fighting in court for as long as it takes. Even though there is a silly and annoying appeal, the present legal framework makes it clear that XRP is not a security. The most important thing is that the SEC made it clear they had no plans to challenge XRP's position as a non-security, even though they failed in their attempt to file an interlocutory appeal. As of now, the SEC has said that they are not disputing XRP's standing. What does that mean? This makes it sound like central banks are like money transfer companies. Let's say that the Federal Reserve is making blockchain technology, digital ledger technology, and the XRP ledger available to any US business that wants to use them. A gift is also on the list. The use of Ripple. Stablecoins is okay with us. There's no reason to be very worried about XRP right now. I don't think we'll go below that level, even if Bitcoin tries to close the CME gap by staying in the $52.200000 area. However, a lot of people on Twitter like to spread rumors that XRP is going to zero. We saw a small drop last night when people in other countries or on the other side of the world went to sleep. The level is now back to a good level. I should tell everyone to get up and chill out. Take a deep breath if this is too much for you. Leave now and come back in a month when the markets are starting to rise and Bitcoin is at its highest point.